For most people watching a marathon, the race looks decided early. The leaders settle in. The pace looks smooth. The pack stays together. It feels calm, controlled, predictable. But inside the race, elite runners know the truth. The marathon does not begin at the start line. It does not begin at 10 kilometers. It does not even begin at 30 kilometers. The marathon truly begins after 35 kilometers. This is where races are won. This is where champions are made. And this is where most runners lose everything. The physical wall. Nobody can avoid. At 35 kilometers, the human body reaches a breaking point. Muscle glycogen is nearly empty. Energy stores are low. Small mistakes start to feel huge. This is not just tiredness. This is deep fatigue. Your legs feel heavy. Your stride shortens. Your form begins to fall apart. Even elite marathon runners feel it. The difference is not who feels pain. It is who can run through it without panic. Why speed? Before 35 kilometers can be misleading. Many marathon runners look strong early. They hit perfect splits. They float through half marathon. They look relaxed at 25 kilometers. But early speed means nothing. Running fast before 35 kilometers does not win marathons. Running strong after 35 kilometers does. This is why world record pace does not guarantee victory in championship races. The race is not about how fast you are when you are fresh. It is about how steady you are when you are empty. The energy crisis at 35 kilometers. At this point in the race, the body is running low on fuel. Even with perfect fueling, glycogen is limited. Fat becomes the main energy source. That energy is slower and harder to access. This is where runners slow down. Not because they want to, but because their body forces them to. Champions are not immune to this. They are simply better prepared for it. Muscle damage. Takes control. By 35 kilometers, muscle damage is severe. Thousands of steps have already been taken. Downhills have destroyed quads. Small stabilizer muscles are exhausted. Every step sends a signal to the brain. Slow down. Runners who trained only for pace struggle here. Runners who trained for fatigue survive. This is why marathon training focuses so much on long runs. Not to build speed, but to build resistance to damage. The mental battle becomes louder. At 35 kilometers, the mind becomes the biggest enemy. Negative thoughts appear. Why does this hurt so much? I can't hold this pace. Everyone else looks better. These thoughts are normal, but how a runner reacts to them decides the race. Some runners listen, some runners fight. The ones who win do not argue with pain. They accept it and keep moving. Why championship marathons explode? Late, in major championships, the pace is often slow early. No pacers, no record attempts, no perfect conditions. Runners save energy. Why? Because everyone knows the truth. If you survive until 35 kilometers, you still have a chance to win. That is why Olympic and World Championship marathons look calm early and violent late. The race is waiting for the weakest moment. The moment the race actually breaks. After 35 kilometers, something always happens. A surge, a hesitation, a missed step, a small loss of rhythm. One runner slows slightly, another notices. That is all it takes. A 2-second gap becomes 5. 5 becomes 10. And suddenly the race is over. From the outside, it looks sudden. Inside the race, it feels inevitable. This is where winners separate themselves. Why negative splits matter so much? Negative splitting means running the second half faster than the first. After 35 kilometers, negative split runners are dangerous. Their bodies are prepared, their minds are calm, their form stays together. Others slow down, they speed up. This is not luck. This is preparation meeting the right moment. Training for the final 7 kilometers. Elite marathon training is built around one idea. Be strong when tired. That is why long runs matter. That is why fast finishes are practiced. That is why marathon pace is trained late in workouts. The goal is simple. Make 35 kilometers feel familiar. If the body has been there before, the mind does not panic. Fueling can save or destroy a race. At 35 kilometers, fueling mistakes appear. Missed gels, poor timing. Stomach problems. Energy drops fast. Runners who fuel well keep rhythm. Runners who don't fade quickly. This is why modern marathon running focuses so much on nutrition. The race is not just run on legs, it is run on planning. Why experience wins late races? Runners who have been here before behave differently. They know the feeling. They expect the pain. They do not rush decisions. Experience teaches patience. This is why veteran runners often beat faster athletes in championships. They don't fight the race, they let it come to them. The difference between racing and running. Anyone can run a marathon. Only champions can race one. Running is about pace. Racing is about timing. After 35 kilometers, pace becomes secondary. What matters is decision-making. Do you follow the move? Do you wait? Do you trust your strength? One wrong choice ends everything. Why spectators feel the drama late? Crowds sense it too. At 35 kilometers, the noise changes. Cheering becomes urgent. Faces tighten, steps look heavier. Everyone knows something is coming. This is the most honest part of the marathon. No hiding, no pretending, only effort. Famous wins. Decided after 35 kilometers. Some of the greatest marathon victories were decided here. Olympic races, world championships, major marathons. The early kilometers are forgotten. The final 7 kilometers are remembered forever. That is where legends are made. Why this will never change. Technology may improve. Shoes may get better. Training may evolve. But the human body will always face the same limits. At 35 kilometers, fatigue will arrive. The question will always remain, who is ready for it? That is why marathons will always be won late. The marathon is honest. It rewards patience. It punishes fear. It exposes weakness. Speed can impress early. Strength decides the end. That is why marathons are won after 35 kilometers. Not because runners become faster, but because they become braver. If you enjoy understanding what really decides marathon races and you care about the deeper side of distance running, subscribe to the Distance Network. We don't focus on hype. We focus on truth, effort, and the moments that define champions. If this video helped you see the marathon differently, leave a like. It truly helps the channel grow. And tell us in the comments, what do you think is harder, the body or the mind after 35 kilometers? We'll see you in the next story.